Millionaires have multiple sources of income. The middle class only has one or two. Now, I know you've probably heard that statistic before. The average millionaire has 7 income streams. But I want to break this down for you just a little bit more simple. Now, if you're new to the channel and new to this series, make sure you like and subscribe because you don't want to miss any of the episodes I got coming out. And I'm putting out a lot because I want to help you as much and as fast as possible. So right now in this series, we're going through the book, The Top 10 Distinctions Between Millionaires and the Middle Class by Keith Cameron Smith. Man, I like when people have 3 names, like Travis Lee Peters. I'm trying to rebrand or something, you know what I'm saying? This book is powerful. It's tiny, but it's powerful. It's going to change the way you think, and when you change the way you think, you change the way you act and behave. And when you change the way you act and behave, you open yourself up to get new results, because you are a summation of the thoughts that you think and the actions that you take. So let's change those to get new, higher, and better results. And maybe you're saying, Trav, I don't necessarily want to be a millionaire. That's okay. The stuff I'm teaching you here is going to dramatically change the results you get in every area of life, including financially. But maybe you don't want to be a millionaire, but couldn't you use some increase in your life? This is going to help you. All right. Millionaires have multiple sources of income. The middle class only has 1 or 2. Let's compare the dollars to fish. This is from the book. Would a fisherman catch more fish if he had 2 fishing lines in the water? Of course. Would he catch more fish if he had 5 fishing lines in the water? Of course, right? He would definitely increase the possibilities of catching more fish. It's the same concept. Money's just like that. The more sources of income you can develop, the more likely it is you will become a millionaire. The other thing is, what he points out here is that most millionaires are millionaires because of combined sources of income, usually not just one. It's usually, I became a millionaire because of these 4, 5, 6 different things I had going on at once, added all together, brought in millions of dollars. Now, something to think about here is, it says the trick to developing multiple sources of income is to focus on making them passive income. And by passive, it doesn't mean you don't work. It just means it requires little maintenance or management from you personally. Many millionaires have the ability to put together teams that can run their businesses better than they could even do it on their own. People in the middle class have a difficult time with this idea because they think they must do everything themselves. I have seen this over and over and over. It's something I haven't really struggled with too much. I remember a couple scenarios where I kind of dealt with thinking along these lines, but for the most part, I've always just thought, you know what, as soon as I can replace myself and get somebody else doing this, let's do that. Let's get out of here. Multiple sources of income and passive income. So think about it like this. I own rental properties. Currently, I only have 2. There are plans for more. They're coming. But right now, I only have 2. And it doesn't take a ton of time for me to manage these. One brings in $1,500 a month. The other one brings in $1,100 a month. All right. Now, I still have mortgages on those, so I don't keep all that as profit. But it is passive income. And there, from time to time, I do get a phone call where I call a plumber, electrician, and I've got people on my team who regularly help me with anything. So it's usually a quick phone call or a text, and I got the problem taken care of. In fact, in one of the scenarios, the tenant, anytime something was up, there needs some maintenance, he actually calls my guy directly. My guy goes and fixes it and then sends me the bill. Pretty low maintenance. All right. I also have an e-commerce business, and I've got an amazing person who runs and manages the e-commerce business for me. So I have systems, my website and Google, my SEO, and some different things like that, bring in the leads, make the sales, and then I've got my person who runs that business. They handle the support. If the customer needs a call, they call the customer. They make sure the product gets there on time. She's amazing. That's one of my passive income pieces. Takes very little time from me. A few hours a month is all I invest into that. So we've got real estate and rental properties. We got my e-commerce business that somebody else runs and manages. And then of course I pay them a base fee plus a little bit of commission once a month. We've got, if you guys know my other YouTube channel, Passive Income Engines, you've seen that over there. If you haven't, you might want to check it out, link in the description, but I teach how to set up passive income streams using a unique cryptocurrency investment strategy, something I didn't know existed until about 8 months ago. And once I found out about it, I got pretty excited because I can invest my money and it earns me a nice little chunk passively just for me clicking some buttons and investing. All right, I have another income stream with a local business owner where I invested an amount of money and he goes and lends that money and then he pays me a percentage once a week, like a little cash app with some passive income in it. It's pretty cool. And it's a nice little chunk. I'm enjoying it. YouTube. So it's just new, but YouTube, my YouTube channel recently monetized, and that brings in a little bit of passive income. I come out and it takes some work because I got to make some videos and some thumbnails. At some point, I will outsource that. I enjoy doing it right now, but at some point, I'll outsource that to my team. The Passive Income Engines program, a lot of you guys are in that. A lot of you guys are in Kingdom Money Mastery. If you're not, what do you wait for? All of these programs I have will make you more money. They will change the way you think, and they will show you how to do it all in a way that honors God, keeps you, that's integrous, and then it uses God's promise to activate increase in our lives. It's a fun way to live. You should check those programs out if you have not. Little plug. Point is, I've got teams and people who run the back end of those programs. I do the part I enjoy, but then I pay somebody else if there's any support. Travis, I can't log into the course, cool. My assistant will help you out. He'll get you the login, so get you set up, get you taken care of, whatever you need. So it is a semi-passive income stream for me right there. And then from time to time, I've done things, taking on consulting clients and coaching some business owners and some multiple streams of income. My wife has a little business where she has a team where they write research manuals. She has a client that pays her, and then she pays the team, and she takes a little cut. Pretty passive. She has to email the clients a little bit, but very low maintenance when you think about it in the grand scheme of things. So there's another income stream that we have and enjoy. And there's other ones out there. There's ones that make a little bit here, a little bit there. Stuff I've done in the past that still lives on the internet, that still makes sales when people find it. It's a trickle, but it's still there. So now that we've got multiple streams of income, and I'm learning that I can do that, the more and more I'm learning to delegate, to outsource, to build a team, to find people who are better at it than me. And there's more that are coming along. I've got ideas and I got all kinds of stuff. There's lots of business ideas I haven't enabled or activated or acted on yet. But as I learn how to develop as a leader and and I'm not even saying like I necessarily have to come in and be like this corporate guy who runs all these teams. I mean, it's literally virtual these days. Let's hop on Zoom for 10 minutes once a week to run your team and manage your team and things like this. There's all kinds of great resources out there. We use Upwork.com and a couple others where we can find people who will build websites for you. I remember one time I landed a website client and I did not want to build the website. I'm trying to think of how much they paid me, but you could charge $2,000, $3,000. You could go into Upwork, find somebody amazing to build beautiful websites, look at their portfolio, hop on a quick call with them. They'll show you that, look, here's all these beautiful websites I've made, what you need me to make. Here's this one. They go to make it for $500. You keep the difference. You can do things like this. Multiple streams of income, but you don't have to do all the work yourself. So for instance, I had a day job back in the day, and then there's a season where I also had a small lawn business. Man, I'll tell you what, lawn businesses are fun at the beginning of the season because you get out, get in the fresh air, enjoy it, put your AirPods in, yada yada, it's all good. But about halfway through that summer, when it's hitting those 100 and 105 degree temperatures, it's not that fun anymore, and you really don't want to do it. I'll be honest with you. If I was doing it again today, what I would do is I would go and get a lawn, and then I would hire my little brother, or I would hire somebody else to go and mow the lawn. And then I would spend my time knocking on doors and getting new clients. I'd do the marketing side of things. I'll get new clients, pass them on to my team, get somebody, probably a virtual assistant to help schedule things out. And then from there, I could just continue to grow. Then I would find somebody to go knock on the doors for me and pay them a commission to go and get me new lawns. So now I own a lawn business. I probably provided the equipment, but I've got a team who executes and mows. I've got an admin who schedules things and talks to customers. And then I have another person who goes out, knocks on doors, gets me new clients, and gets a commission. I would probably look at it that way. Now, back in the day when I had a middle class mindset, I thought I had to do it all myself. So I was literally knocking on doors, and then I was mowing them myself, and then I was calling the customers to schedule things. It's not that fun, especially when you have a day job. It's a great place to start, but let's elevate from there. So that's how I started. Now I just told you how I would do it differently. Think on this for yourself. You can be able to build a team. And I think that's probably the main thing that you have to think about is, how can I do this? Now, there's building a team, but then there's also a lot of it, some things can be automated. So some of my income streams online, no team is necessary. So for instance, when I do a consulting type of situation, when somebody pays me to come and work on their business, help them with their business, there's this little program, little framework I take them through. Super simple. There's 3 systems. There's a system for getting leads. Your business has a system to close leads. And then your system has a business to deliver on those leads, the ones that have closed, deliver on the sales, right? You got to fulfill. So we just go through each one of those systems, and we diagnose where the biggest problems are and then what to work on next. I got a cool framework. It'll help you make a ton of money. It's great. But the point is, those systems, so let's say you need a system that helps you get leads. Well, in my example, we can go knock on doors and say, hey, could we mow your lawn? That's a way of getting leads. You could also systematize that through advertising on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or billboards, or back in the day, advertising in the phone book, things like this. I'm going to go advertise, and then that replaces my system. I don't need a person to do that anymore, and I don't need to go do that either. I've got a system online that gets me new leads. And then to close those leads, back in the day, in my example, we'd have to talk to them, they'd have to open their door, and then we'd have to convince them to let us, come mow their lawn. Well, another way to close leads could be through a webinar, could be through a sales page, could be through a series of emails, could be through a series of videos. There's other ways to do it now. I've coached a lot of people who have a sales team, and they book a call, and then you talk to a sales guy, and they help you see if this program is going to be a good fit or not. So that's a system. A lot of those business owners did not take the sales calls themselves. They had a team who was better at it than them take those calls. Didn't have to risk any money because you only paid them commission. So really no risk. And then to close on the deal, you might have to hire somebody else to go mow the lawns or to go execute the thing. Or maybe it's something that you feel like only you can do it. Well, from day one, let's start training somebody else. Let's apprentice them so that soon they can take over for you. Slowly delegate new responsibility to them. Just give them a little more, give them a little more, give them a little more, give them a little more. Next thing you know, they can run that thing without you. I've been in that position many times. There's been several positions, several things where I thought no one could do it as good as me. But when I trained somebody, it's fine, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to help somebody else do it because I'm capped if I think I got to do it all myself. I'm trying to remove lids and limits off my mindset, but then also off of my money. If you think you have to do it all yourself, you're going to stay middle class. And so even on these things like writing sales copy, which I believe I'm really, really good at, to be honest with you. I've studied it. I put in the hours. I put in the work. It's a skill set I have and enjoy. I thought no one could do it better than me. But I started training some people, apprenticing some people, sending them books, sending them courses. I'll buy the course, watch this course because I need you to have the skill set in you. I'll go get the deals and the leads. I need you to fulfill on them by writing the sales copy and helping this business owner make more money. I'll shadow you. I'll look over it. You can't mess it up. I'll help you. Doing these things. And eventually, I was able to get out from under that. As crazy as it sounds. You can train people even though you think you're the only one who could do it or you could do it best. That may be so, maybe you can do it best, but you can start training somebody to do it 95% as good as you, and then you come in and take it the rest of the way. So be thinking like this. There's thoughts that are going to fight against you here. So for instance, you may have had a dad or a grandfather or somebody in your life that said, son, never pay someone else to do what you can do yourself. I get why you would say that, and I know where they're coming from, but that's a middle class mentality. It's a poverty mentality. I remember, I think I was 28. Got married when I was 26. I was about 28, and I started hiring somebody to mow my lawn. I didn't even have kids. I could easily mow my lawn. Lawn wasn't even that big, pretty small. But I knew I had to start thinking like millionaires, and I knew wealthy people don't mow their own lawns. There's all these things you can think of. Oh, Travis, that's when I listen to podcasts, and I like it. I spend great time with God while I mow, and all this stuff. And yeah, whatever. I did all that too. I'm telling you, it's way better not mowing your own lawn. It does a lot of things for you. It elevates the way you think. It's kind of like practicing something in this realm of what we've been teaching today, where I'm thinking like the wealthy. Now, I don't have to do it all myself. Oh, but it'll save you some money. Yeah, but that's not how the wealthy think. They're not thinking, how can I save money? They're thinking, how can I save time? I can always make more money. I got multiple streams of income. More money's going to come, but you can never make more time. I also noticed my mental bandwidth when I was mowing my own lawn. I remember there was a time I had to mow it at 6:30 in the morning because we had people coming over, and just the way things shook out, got home late the night before, yada yada. Grass grew real quick because it rained, and I was like, I wasn't expecting to mow. Now I got to mow and like plan stuff out like that. I had to get up early and mow at 6:30 in the morning. I remember one time I had to mow at 9 o'clock at night for the same kind of reasons. And I'm just thinking like, oh, man, you come home, you look at your lawn's high, and you're like, man, I got people coming over. I don't want people to see this doesn't reflect me. So you got all this mental bandwidth. And now like, I can't go mow because we're about to go to church, and then this, and then tomorrow I got to get up early because I'm speaking at this thing, and I don't want to deal with that. Dude, just hire somebody. Get someone else mowing your lawn. Even if you can do it yourself and you don't mind it, hire someone to mow your own lawn. It's one of the things I talk about inside of my Kingdom Money Mastery programs is I'm like, one of the first things I need you to do is you need to outsource that. It is going to change the way you see your life when you stop mowing your lawn. I'm telling you, there's like deeper things rooted in this. It starts to shake loose poverty mindsets you didn't know were there. A lot of you guys are cringing right now, and you're trying to do the math on how much it would cost, and no one could mow it as good as I can. And the worst, I know this sounds silly, but when you say things like, oh, I don't mind mowing it, that's actually a huge red flag. I'll have to dive into that in another video. But we're not trying to build a life of things that we tolerate. We're trying to build the greatest life imaginable. The tagline of my Increase University program is, create the life you can't wait to wake up for. It starts with doing things like outsourcing mowing your lawn. And it's for deeper reasons than maybe you can understand in just this one video. Again, I dive in deeper into that in other places. But the other thing that we were talking about, and we got to learn from this lesson, is that millionaires, the wealthy, have multiple sources of income. The other thing to think about is it protects you. Because there's definitely been times where my e-commerce business was not making that much money, but it's okay, it's cool, because my online course business crushed it that month. Or maybe with one of my rental properties, I had to fix a water heater, and it took $1,200, and I was like, it's a bummer. It kind of lost some of that cash I'd been building up in that account, but that's okay. My e-commerce business crushed it that month. Oh man, my offline investments didn't do so well. That's okay. My crypto investments crushed it this month. You see what I'm saying? So that's another aspect of it. It's a way of diversifying your income. If you lose one income stream, it's okay. I still got 6 more. It's a bummer. We need to make another one to replace it, but it's not the end of the world. I'm not devastated. All right? So that's another reason. Be thinking along these lines. The only reason you probably only have one source of income is you haven't figured out how to start another source of income, or you've been thinking everything's about your time. Well, I don't have time because I work 12-hour shifts. Well, again, your income does not have to be tied to your time. That's how the poor and middle class think. Who could you hire? What team could you build in order to handle some of these new income streams for you? Take some time and think on that today. New to the channel, financialincrease101.com. I got a free guide for you over there. If you want to learn more about this stuff, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel. We're going through this book together. There's still, I think, 2 more mindset distinctions between the millionaires and the middle class that we need to cover. You don't want to miss it. Love you guys. See you in the next one.